good morning, and welcome to another episode of Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Azem, featuring Jade, Gwen, Gwenisha, Gwyneth Paltrow, Idita, Johnson.
Morning.
Oh, how I've missed that. Oh, I've missed that intro.
Morning.
We're live!
Bye. Hey. And the man still sounds like he's suffering, but he's here.
Bye.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
But at least you're here and you have life.
Barely.
No, not this time.
The way I felt. Listen. Sinus issues. Nope. At that point, I was ready to just tap out. I said no.
But you feel?
Take me to the king.
With all his glory.
Well. But
My first second, I thought I had COVID. I thought the COVID had you, I'm gonna lie.
I thought so too.
I tell you all what I think Kevon had here.
What? Because I thought you? Wait,
Acclimatization issues.
Yeah.
Getting acclimated
okay.
was his issue.
Possibly, but Lord.
Bro, I'm telling you, because I've seen it multiple times.
I've been to space and we are worrying about acclimatizing somewhere on Earth. Lord.
Watch out. I have family members who, when they go to certain places on the globe,
They frequently take in.
they take in. You got 3 days in max. Anything more than that, it's over.
Yeah, that didn't sound like a fun time to me.
Mine was what, 2 weeks in, I think.
But the thing,
But the thing is what? What happened in the studio? As if don't make them kind of sound in the studio, please.
no, you try log in just now?
I'm about to.
Oh. You know, every time you log in, it just transitions. So I just look up and it was transitioning. So I was wondering.
Oh, no, man, do nothing yet.
No, once you log on, it does transition.
But me log on yet, that's the
We
thing.
thought it was the WINNFM Duffy.
Oh, well, it obviously was.
Because me do nothing yet. So,
Idita.
Okay.
it wasn't me. Trust me, I just literally logged in. It wasn't me before.
It was Idita, but okay.
The WINNFM Duppy in here. Showing itself as usual.
Yep.
Welcoming Kevon back. You go ahead, play. Me not play with them things, you know?
But why are we afraid of duppies?
What you mean?
No, seriously, why are we afraid of duppies?
Because they told us that they're scary.
Yeah, but why? Okay, why are they scary?
I don't know. You want to ask me? We should interview a Duppy.
I would love to.
I mean,
I think they call those seances.
Ooh.
Well, that dog gonna call in sick.
No, but seriously, why are we afraid of duppies? Like, they ain't supposed to be like
know.
people who are here before and stuff?
Well, yeah, but then some of them they didn't leave in a good way, and some are just very angry. So
Yeah, I just about to say, and everybody that was here left in a good way. So
Right, so that's why you should be able to just call on those who got your best interest at heart, like you're praying grandmother.
I don't know who got my best interest at heart at this point, so I can't even.
Your praying grandmother ain't had your best interest at heart? Hello, though.
I feel like she pressed me. I feel like she was asking me for something. She pressed me.
Bye. Oh, bye. Spiritual world.
I love her still though. Oh,
Yeah, she love you
That's
too.
the connection.
Maybe we just a warning.
I love tap.
Yeah, you're like, I miss you. Hey, you ever have like good intentions when you do something for somebody and the person just take it totally like wrong?
yeah.
Normal humans.
Like, yeah, so that be them too.
No.
Give me one example where you try to do something nice for somebody and they totally just you couldn't understand the reaction.
When I tell somebody that when somebody asked me about a guy that I was interested in, and I told the truth.
You was Kevon?
No. Not Waterman. Not Waterman.
Oh, yeah. I feel you just said no, he belongs to Rhoda.
No. Not Waterman.
Are we reach here?
Man, I asked him ask me a question. So I just
Yeah.
answer.
How about you, Kevon? What was one time you tried to do something like for somebody and they just totally like took it in a way that totally confused you?
A birthday surprise. I was trying to coordinate a birthday surprise for someone, and they didn't really receive it. Like because at the time of the surprise, they thought nothing was being done, and they had a whole blowout, and we were like, we were gonna surprise you, and they felt so embarrassed that they continued abusing him.
Right.
At this point, you have to commit to it.
Yeah, you gotta commit. You gotta just go with it.
Yeah. So I was just kind of like, happy birthday.
There you go.
Yeah, that's funny. There was one time, and this is years and years and years ago. This person don't even live in the federation and never has. But I was dating this girl, and one day, after a 2.5 hour conversation that from all indications to me, was going very well. Like she used to transit from like Hackensack, New Jersey to Manhattan every day for work. So she'll call me on the bus, right? And she goes like, at the end of the conversation, she goes, "Love you," and I go, "You know what? Ever since the first day I told you I love you, like ever since you told me that the first day, I've never doubted you. And I love you too." And that resulted in a 2 week of us not speaking.
What? I'm confused.
How we reach here?
Yeah, I was totally confused as well. Apparently, after the 2 weeks, she came back and said that the response should have just been, "I love you too." And
so she abused you because you got fancy.
Yeah, and then the fact that I said basically that like I never questioned her, like why was that even something I had to say? Have I questioned her? Was I questioning her motives before she said those words? And I'm just like, watch it.
I think it has been some interesting relationship.
I was just so lost. And then she came back and said, like, after 2 weeks, like, I may have overreacted a bit.
You shitting? May have. Well, so you go sometimes. But guys, since Kevon is back, I think it's only fair for him to do us the honors. What do you think, Azem? I think it's his time to redeem himself.
Yeah.
The people have been missing it.
I think it's time that he take me out of the hot seat and just...
Yeah, we're trying to save you.
Yeah, do what he does so well.
You used to do it?
I used to try. But
let me sip my green tea.
I am not the Duke. And in life we all must know our roles.
I agree.
As I think he's a king, yeah. King Rock. As King Rock would have said, stay in your lane.
Alrighty then.
The man is a poet.
Indeed.
It's time.
Yes.
Wait, I'm singing the song, right?
Yeah.
Your friend, try your best.
Just making sure we're on the same page, because, okay.
Try your best.
Let's go.
It's time for Eat Local.
What?
What? What is happening? What is happening? You're gone for 3 days. You're gone for 3 days and you totally forget how the segments go?
Kevon said, Kevon, what time is it?
Maybe. Oh, you're right. Wait. Wrong one.
After that huge setup.
Let's just copy that one and paste it when the time comes. So it's time for tea. Tea time.
What is happening in the world?
Listen,
I don't know. Come on, you
a break.
okay?
No, because me wearing pants.
What?
Oh yeah, that was me yesterday.
But in the studio.
Don't ask the questions, Kevon. Just go with it.
I don't understand why he trying to get me business for.
Just go with it.
When I saw the message, I was just like, "Excuse me."
You may run in here.
Well,
I had on a tights.
Hey, nobody can see you. But we have some Kevon. They're celebrating your return. And Carlo.
On Facebook, I got YouTube open.
Yeah, on Facebook. And then Carlo said, "Happy Kim's calling." Kim Collins Day and my daughter's Candy's birthday. Happy
Oh,
birthday to Candy.
happy birthday, Candy. And
Yeah.
Kim Collins there.
Yes,
Thank you, everyone. I'm back.
indeed.
Happy for you.
Kevon is here.
My sinuses took
Wherever
me out.
capacity.
My sinuses took me out. Wasn't COVID. Don't start the WhatsApp messages.
Bro, everybody thought it was
the
COVID.
Provident went through.
Like,
the Provident.
bro, the comments were going on the live. Kevon got the corona. Kevon, it's over.
Why?
Kevon ain't fully vaccinated. Like,
There's nothing else but COVID apparently.
Oh man, sinuses took me out in a way it never has before. But I'm back.
it's the climate,
And-
bro.
Yeah, and speaking of COVID, who wants to do the honors of giving them the COVID update?
I shall.
Me for sure. Me stop reading them something to buy.
Kevon, reach back here.
I remember, I remember,
So you're gonna keep-
I remember, I remember being in my bed, slowly taking in and seeing these numbers, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, man.
Lord,
So you go down here right
how
now.
did we get here? How many more jobs? Okay, so
Sorry.
this is your St. Kitts and Nevis COVID-19 situation report as of Tuesday, the 24th of August, 10:30 p.m. You know, there's a late time. You know, that's a bad, that ain't good.
By all of them been coming late. I don't know what happening.
You see them numbers, they must come late.
It come like that doesn't be counting by like, nah, this gotta be fake.
Like, is
Let
that
me
recount?
just do it. Yeah.
What we call like election time.
Confirmed cases within the last 24 hours is at 46.
Huh?
Yeah. Not 2 days. A 1 day total.
Confirmed
46.
cases within the last 24 hours is at 46. Total number of cases since the beginning of the pandemic between both islands stands at 929.
Oi.
Active cases now stands at 318. I remember the last time I read this, we were at like 40 something.
Yep.
Yep. Literally.
Yep.
Recovered cases now stands at 608. Total number of cases between both islands, we have 842 for St. Kitts and 87 for Nevis. Because the last time I read this, Nevis had 20.
Yeah. Yeah.
I tell you last night, in just Kittitians went over Nevis for the holiday weekend, yeah.
Where it's a good girl when I went to?
We wanna go bubble about, eh? Just bubbling up in Nevis.
Bubble.
Bubble.
Bubble, yes.
Bubble up.
Hot girl road.
Hot girl road by.
Yeah.
Woof.
Wona doing it. Wona is doing it.
I feel him bad. I feel him bad for Nevis though. Like,
Man, like, it's sad because like they were doing so good.
well,
Wait, how many teacup leaking?
what?
What? Come on. Today, you know, boy.
Apparently it's
By the handle.
apparently it's really tea time.
Oh my gosh. Kevon
There's a
is
crack by my handle.
malfunctioning.
You know what?
Somebody
I,
said,
go ahead, dude.
now it's good to say somebody said good morning. That young man is still working up. Welcome back.
Hello. Yes.
And by the way,
Oh, dear.
morning, Weedy. But guys, you know what I found interesting yesterday. So
What?
yesterday I went to a supermarket, and it was interesting to me that although I felt like there were a lot of people in there for the time, it wasn't like a lot of people, right? And I kept thinking to myself, like, a month ago, 2 months ago, when we had the cases rising to less than where they're at now, and coincidentally there was a prime minister's press conference, the supermarkets were wild. You see how people like people fed up here.
They just called me.
No.
What could be Azem?
Nobody even like it was just another telltale sign of the fact of how people are adjusting to what's happening. I did the exact same scenario a few months ago, and it was pandemonium.
What you want the people do?
I gone in there just go buy some veggie sausage, and
Like the true Rasta man that you are.
and when you look now, it was just like, okay. As like while I was in the line, I was like, wait, Timo talking today, and the place ain't turning up.
Because they're at the point where they know two things. Corona going to continue and we're not going into a lockdown. So what am I panic shop for?
No. I think that's the interesting thing. The fact that we just knew that we wasn't going into a lockdown when literally 2 months ago, like that was the expectation from everybody.
That was the go-to.
Yeah,
I think we at the point, which is funny, right? Because so here's the thing. A lot of people, I find it super weird, right? A lot of people are cussing that we're not locking down and that CPL is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Now, while I kind of understand some of the points, right? I thought this is what we wanted. We wasn't saying like a couple months ago that we need something to stimulate the economy. We need some hotels to be open. We need people to work again and stuff. So like,
I think it's hard to just say like if they're saying what we want. Like there's some people who've been saying, look, whenever we see cases, lock it down, keep it thing, and then we could open up. There's some people who have been saying from the start, don't lock down at all. Like what we locking down for? Corona here, we gotta live with it.
I understand that, but like,
so
my part,
I don't even know if it's the same people. So it might actually be that the people are consistent with the messaging. The people who are saying why we having CPL and whatever might be the same people who've been saying lockdown, and the people who are saying by why we locking down might be the same people who are going by CPL gonna happen. Might be the exact same people.
Ain't even the fact that CPL has to happen. My thing is like we want people to be able to earn. Like I'm over the Marriott where I am seeing locals actually working again.
Mm-hmm.
So like maybe I just too happy to see people
get...
Yeah, so like imagine them being able to come back out and work and actually earn again. It's like, yes, like I feel like we should be a little happy about that. Maybe it's me, like, you know, I actually want to see people able to feed their families, like we've been saying. So, like, you know,
yeah, I don't know. I think what's happening is that the conversation is more about the fear of losing the gains that we would have made, right? So it's like we've been saying, are we going to just from now on, just whatever happens? Is it that we're having a readjustment of our thresholds for action? Is it that we want to see a situation where we're able to close down and stop the spread before reconvening? Like I think there's people who support all these different approaches. I think what is happening is that the government is showing us exactly through their actions where the adjustments are happening in the approach and are what they're starting to prioritize. So they might be prioritizing different things now. The weight given to different factors might be changing. The weight given to different factors might be changing. So
yeah, I just feel like a lot of us not thinking about the fact that like when we're cussing about so the CPL happen when nothing else could happen. Like I feel like it's just more than that. Like I feel like we have to think about the fact that people out here are able to earn again and able to work again, even if it's just for a time, right? Like, you know, because I don't know how sustainable it would be after CPL leaves with the hotels, because you know we're not really getting that type of traffic going now. But yeah, I'm just.
I guess that's been the argument from the start. The people who argue against lockdowns is people need to be able to work. I think that's been that's been the argument straight up.
The start only done. I saw something on Twitter yesterday that sparked the start, but yesterday also, like, you know, they have to come and do your deep cleaning. So one of the housekeepers came and she was like, I know you from somewhere. I was like, huh? Because like I can't see her face, she full gear down.
Right.
She was like, so she kept looking at me, right?
X-Files.
While we're speaking and stuff, and she kept looking at me and she was like, you just be on the radio? I was like, yeah, but she was, I'm so upset that I didn't get her name, right? But she was so nice and pleasant and, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it made me feel good to see that she was able to be able to work. Like, I don't know. I'm just happy that some people are able to work again, honestly.
Yeah.
And we have to stop talking about another thing. And somebody just brought this to my attention, but I was going to speak about it today. But another thing, like we really have to stop trying to make it seem like it's the government fault everything happening, because throughout the pandemic, we've seen one thing. No matter what, like the decisions are, no matter if it's lockdown, curfew, we just free. No matter what it is, the thing that doesn't change is the behavior of the people who live in St. Nevis. Like, you can't expect things to change if y'all not changing y'all behavior. I don't understand how y'all think you're supposed to fix this if y'all doing the same things over and over. Y'all don't want to follow no protocols. Y'all don't want to wear a mask. Y'all don't want to distance. Y'all don't want to take the vaccine. If y'all have it available, it's like. So what you think gonna keep happening? No matter what they do, like they could lock us down, they could tell us nothing happening, they could open up the place like this. But if the behavior continues, like nothing is going to change. And I don't think people realize this. People keep saying, "Oh, the government should do this, or the government should do that." But we need to take some personal responsibility, because the government is people at the end of the day. Like, we are people as well. They can't protect us if we're not protecting ourselves. If y'all saying the government failing and they ain't doing what it's supposed to do, okay, cool, but you have to also do what you're supposed to do. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
Maybe you are.
Maybe, because
possibility.
High.
Maybe you just
extremely high.
That's what happens when you just think you make too much sense. I want to be bright for nothing.
I may never bright like that, because, like, you know, not sense or anything, but yeah. I have another rant. Well, not another rant. I feel like yesterday I just discovered all kind of things, and I was like, okay, no, I know y'all being hypocritical. Y'all are being hypocritical. So you see how over the last couple of weeks, well, not the last couple of weeks, the last couple of days, people cussing about, oh, well, you see, when Tim them and Lindsay them was protesting, nobody stopped them, the police come for them. I literally watched a video yesterday, Lindsay getting haul up, you know.
Alright, but I can't believe I didn't remember that there. They had like memes.
Literally happened.
They had like memes. Lindsay can pull over the barricade and all kind of thing. Like,
I remember
that. I remember that. They went viral. Them they went viral.
That was bullying.
Yeah.
Boy, they put their heart.
I think he was arrested, didn't it? He got arrested.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I think he did.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he definitely got arrested.
Well,
so when people saying, "Oh, like, you know, they didn't do them," no, they did, man. Don't change history. Don't change history at all. Don't try justifying. Because I feel like that's what they're trying to do. Like, they're trying to make it seem like it's only one side go through these kind of problems. Like, what? And are you sure? Lindsay was a politician at the time. Like,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But listen, I need y'all to. I send y'all the video.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember when he had, because the video went around. So
maybe I was too young to remember this.
I know this wasn't a long time, but
I truly didn't remember.
Yes, I think we have a call on the line, guys. Call, good morning, you're live on LNT. What's up? Oh.
Okay. Cute.
Yeah. Oh, yes, what somebody said, and they carried him to St. Paul's because they didn't want people to go across the station. Yeah, I don't know where we were in. We were in history.
See, like, my thing though is like, and I just didn't have the energy yesterday to debate the caller when they were talking about like everything is political and so on. Like, I'm just like, I just didn't really have the energy. I like, me even
I didn't remember.
Me really no, ain't even about that. Like, I think it was. I think it's very telling what he was saying. Because then it explains a lot. It explains a lot in terms of
what do you mean?
When he called it. I mean, he was asserting that everything is political, and I disagree. Like, I think politics affects everything around us. I don't think everything is political. I don't think if I talk about politics makes me political. That's what I'm saying.
No, that maybe you don't think so.
But when you start like bringing up like this issue and talking about like, well, but they do Dougie this and Dougie do this, Lindsay do this and bam, 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 and like, to me that's taking away from the actual core issue. But we have a caller, guys. Hold on. Well, let me see. Hopefully the caller is there. Caller, good morning. You're live on Island T.
Yeah, good morning, man. How are you?
Oh, we're doing good.
Yeah, man. Very interesting topics and conversations, man. Yeah, the lady just made some, real fundamental comments there about, the people, they got to take responsibility, man. Personal responsibility. It just seems like to everybody, to some people or whatever, that this virus is a joke and it's not real. But when you guys start having deaths down there, that's when you're gonna realize it's real. One quick question I wanted to put in: did they ever say if this is the Delta variant that's circulating in the Federation right now? They did say one person inbound had it, but that person recovered in quarantine. But with this spread that's happening so rapidly now, I mean, did they come out finally and say that the Delta variant is in the Federation? Did they get those results back yet? And I can listen off the air for that answer. But CPL, the CPL, I don't know if CPL is going to be a perfect bubble. So me, myself, I would expect that there are going to be some increased cases coming out of CPL. And, I believe Sincus and Nevis was in a great position to stay ahead of this virus. They're still in a good position, but the people don't want to hold any type of personal responsibility. They think everything falls on the government. But the government been doing a good job. And, as far as I can tell, I don't really want to sound like a proponent of the vaccine, but, if you follow the science of the vaccine, the vaccine is doing exactly what the scientists them said it's going to do. And down in Alabama, in the United States, and the southern states, where the people are not vaccinated, the virus is just taking a hold down there. So I want you guys to maybe do some research in those southern states, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, down there in the south of America, where the virus is just like, it just seems like it's just like rampaging through those who are not vaccinated. So it's all a scientific vaccine to me. And, I went to school. I believe in science and technology. And that's what I see that this vaccine is. This vaccine just didn't pop off the shelf. A lot of research went into this stuff and a lot of capital went into it to bring it forward faster like this because of the crisis. But, I just wish those people of Sincus and Nevis will be together. There's a lot of politics in the air, and that's hampering a lot of stuff from moving forward. But the people need to stay united, man. And I need the Federation to be opened up, and the government got to push the Federation into that next phase of opening up and let the people learn to live with COVID, because COVID ain't going nowhere. And, one other thing before I go, the government seems like, I don't know if it's a victimization or whatever is going on, but, I have some family members whose pay was cut on the Nevis end of things, and their pay was cut, without any type of consultation, and I don't agree to that. And, a little bit of money that my family they're making there, they can't survive on that. So I think the government need to, respect the people more. All right, man, that's my contribution, man. You guys have a good day.
All right, thank you. Well, yeah, they did say that the Delta variant was here and the person recovered. They haven't said anything else after that. They haven't said that the new wave is caused by Delta. I don't know. Maybe they're waiting on some information, but when we get that information, we will share.
I don't think our testing is done. I don't think the variant testing is done locally. So I think they are.
No, they have to send it off.
They have to send it off.
Batches. So I don't think we also get those results like immediately.
Well, the last time it took a few weeks. The last time it took a few
Right.
weeks before that.
Yeah.
They said they got the results back. But we have another caller, guys. Caller, good morning, 11 LNT.
Morning.
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 Oh yeah, this is Carlton DuPont.
Hey,
Hi,
friend of the
Mr.
show.
Dupont.
Friend of the show.
Morning,
What's up?
morning.
I want to add something. Nothing wrong with St. Kitts having the CPL. Because St. Kitts can't stay the same all the time. But the reason why I call is something that the guys say sparked me to call, the guy in the States. Now listen this. Personal responsibility is a serious matter. And not enough people in St. Kitts Nevis holding on to that and taking on personal responsibility. We have to open up. But we can do it in a way where if people take on the personal responsibility, it gives us a chance to open up slowly but surely. And another thing that is bothering me in St. Kitts Nevis is that people beginning to see the COVID thing as a normal thing now. But the guy did mention if we start to get deaths, it's going to be a serious problem to us. Lots of deaths. This is the point. We just got to live a life where we follow the protocols that we are told to do. If we do that, we'll have less problems. And I want to say before I go, I love this program you all having here. It's very enlightening, and I look forward to it 5 times per week on my way to work. And I've always enjoyed your discussion. And I think this is a program that this country should have for a long time. Have a good day.
Thank you, Mr. Dupont.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you very
Dupont.
much.
Appreciate it.
Sound
it.
words. Sound words.
Yeah.
I know. I feel.
All
I mean,
in
we-
favor say aye.
Yeah. I mean, we come in here and we constantly taught. I remember I was very upset during the lockdowns that we had, even when we had the full lockdowns, and being able to driving home and seeing people literally just like congregating at like popular liming spots.
Yeah,
And
like I don't know. We
and
don't,
yes, so I guess it's getting to the point now where even the people who might have been for a situation where we're able to lock down, get the numbers under control, perhaps get to 0, so that we could have some free reign like we would have had in the 9 months prior to the community spread. Them now thinking, so they're locking down, but you got people who ain't care about nothing. And even people watch, even without the lockdown, you got people who know they come into contact with somebody who got the virus
I don't care.
and go work anyway. The sister and them sleep in the same bed. The sister positive, they gonna work still. You got people.
The kids positive, or no, not even positive.
They still
the
send them
kids-
school.
No, well, not even
Showing
that.
symptoms.
The kids,
Showing
yeah, the
symptoms.
kids might be sick. They still send them to school. The school calling them, they not answering. They go. The school tell everybody go home, and they know the child may have came into contact with somebody with corona. They still going to work. Me no know, you know. Boy, when I tell you, right?
And yesterday, one of the things that we mentioned, like I said, yesterday we mentioned it, and one of the things that's just so sad to me is
Upsetting.
is the amount of people that are on quarantine who's supposed to, because they're supposed to get checked, but so they ain't going to work, but they go everywhere else.
They go everywhere else. I tell all
They're up and down Lyman, they go in Nevis, they go in all over the place.
Implement identification bans, and I bet you see people stay where they're supposed to be,
Really.
because you want to be the person who the corona bus come by, you know. You down on 4th Street Lyman and the corona bus pull up in front of you. You don't want to be that person.
Yeah.
And also makes me laugh, not literally laugh, but a lot of people, this all happened because, there was this basically birthed itself from, a hotel situation, and people frequently call that person's name as the reason why things are the way they are. But the same people who are doing that are the people who are not wearing masks, who are up and down at bars, and it's like you're throwing the spread on somebody, but here you are participating in the spread.
Personal responsibility. That's something that we really need to start taking into consideration. It is our personal responsibility to protect ourselves. And the funny thing is, if you like, people keep saying, "Oh, the government failing," if you feel like this, if you feel in your heart of hearts, right, that the government not making the best decisions, you don't think they're able to protect you in the way that they promised, why are you not protecting yourself? Like, why are you not doing it? So then why are you not doing it?
Because then it would be too easy, because then you can't blame the government. Because when you take personal responsibility and you protect yourself and things don't explode, then there's no government to blame.
All right, up in 2024. I think, I think I'm going to do? I'm going to pretend that I'm a beer and going to... My friend, that's it. I don't think you want to wake up in front of a pop smoke.
No, I'll be sleeping, but just leave me.
Yeah, I think I'm going to adapt the ways of the beers and I'm going to just hibernate till this done.
Truthfully, just leave me. Like good.
Yeah. At this point, because I can't. These maths, the maths that y'all trying to present to me don't matter. On one hand, y'all saying, "Oh, the government is protecting me," but y'all ain't protecting yourselves. How does that work?
Y'all want maths to maths and don't bring your calculators.
People will cut them off the hand, and if they cut them off the hand and they find out, find them or lock them up. There's always consequences to people's actions, okay? If you know that you have a band on your hand that's supposed to be there because you are supposed to be either quarantined or you know that you're supposed to be home, or whatever the situation is, whatever color band is on your hand, it's supposed to be there for a reason. And you decide you're the biggest, baddest thing and you're going to cut it off because you are on the line. Okay? Let's see how you're going to line in 1840. What's it called? 1840? Like, where, baby? Over there?
Mr. Limo House.
Mr. Limo House. That's what they're for. Simple and easy. If you feel like you don't care about the rest of the government and the rest of the country and the protection of the people because you want to drink a beer. Simple solutions, Simple solutions.
Really, I think, are there any of the things that are implemented that you guys don't personally agree with?
Currently?
Yeah. Either don't agree because y'all think it's too slack, or because it's unnecessary, or just because you feel, well.
You mean the protocols?
Yeah, any of the protocols, any other things that are being put in place. Like, for instance, we hear we literally hear saying that we don't think like one response, which is the lockdowns, should happen, right? That's one of the arguments that's being made. The other argument that's being made that is perhaps we should put bans on people supposed to quarantine. We have a curfew that's right now between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. We have mass mandates, right? We have in terms of people entering the country, we now have the days reduced to 4, and people could also quarantine at pre-approved sites at home or private residences without private security. Right, so like all these different things and so going on and blah blah. Like any of them y'all feel like
I
don't agree with?
It's not. No, I don't think I don't agree. It's not that a case that I don't agree with them. I think some of them need to be tweaked, so extra layer of protection could happen. Because I understand the rationale behind letting people quarantine at home. Because realistically, a lot of people can't afford to go in a hotel for 4 days to quarantine, or have to leave the house to go to a facility to quarantine. A lot of people can't afford these things. So letting them quarantine at home safely is fine. I think honestly we need to apply an extra layer of protection. We can't have some of them can't afford to have private security and all of that outside the house. Okay, cool. But at least put some type of identification on people so they know that once you have this on your hand, it signals to people who are outside that you are supposed to be home or whatever facility you're supposed to be in. That is where you're supposed to be. That's my only thing. Like,
I think you know, my only problem with that is, well, not my only problem, but one of the things that I am afraid of, if that is to be implemented, is that we'll then see an increase in underreporting.
Why? Because you want to tell on your friend?
Not only tell on your friend, you don't want to be labeled, you don't want to whatever. So, for instance, as it stands now, somebody in an office, let's say office, test positive, persons will come forward and be like, okay, yeah, I was in contact with this person, or a family member was positive here. So they'll call, like some people would call in and say, hey, this is the situation, boom, boom, boom. Okay, we'll organize for you to get tested. There's some companies that actually doing the organizing for the employees. So they're contacting the health officials and saying, hey, here's a list of the people, here's a list of contact information. These are the people that we suspect may have come into contact with a positive case, such and such. I believe if you start implementing the tags, all of that, like, people just won't report.
Okay, but let me ask you a question. How would we see the tags?
What are you talking about?
If you get tagged, right?
No, but that's what I'm saying. I don't think people would want to get tagged, so they won't report.
But how would we know that they get tagged?
What I'm saying is they don't want to be tagged. Ain't about what you see, I don't see, you know. I'm saying that. So you're talking about people ain't want to be seen. I don't think it's about want to be seen, you know. I think just like with the lockdown, where people feel like, well, if I stay home, ain't really a big deal. But if I'm told to stay home, I feel different. I think it's the same kind of energy. Like, no, I'm not making the argument. I'm not making the argument for or against the tagging. What I'm saying is, I believe that would actually be the result. I think we would have to anticipate that the underreporting will go up.
Well, currently, that might be true, but currently we see people who are supposed to be home not staying home. So like, I feel like definitely. I prefer to go with that option. I feel like I feel like I would prefer to risk people not being tested at all. Well, because that's what would happen. They would just not be tested. But even if they're tested, they're still staying home. So
yeah, but I think what happens is that, and I speak about this all the time, the belief of, like, people just have this thing like, me got it. It don't matter if you come into contact with somebody, if your next door neighbor, your brother, sister, the person who's sitting in the cubicle next to you positive, main light. And that is the general, like, that is what I've been seeing. And so because because people have that mindset, they operate as such. So yeah, me ain't going work, but me ain't got it, so I'm going by my partner. Like, yeah, I mean, like, my cousin tell me she was here yesterday and she positive, but me ain't got that deal. She sanitized. So
how do we get around that?
That's the question.
We don't.
That is the question.
But we have to.
But we're talking about it. We're talking about it all morning. It's a personal thing. It comes down to people personal. It's a personal thing.
But personal responsibility clearly isn't what people trying to think about, because
which is why the governments and stuff be trying to do things to incentivize certain behaviors. So it's like that's what I'm saying. You get into the point where it's just like, I think what's happening is that a lot of people are recognizing that, like, but even when I do what I'm supposed to do, people ain't doing what they're supposed to do, and so by don't encroach on my ability to work, to move around, and to be able to protect myself in the way that I see fit, right?
Yeah,
and so it just coming to that point, and I think it's going to continue. It's going to continue along that trend.
You know what's also been irritating me? This is for people who are vaccinated. I want us as a group.
I think I know where you're going, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. I want us as a group to stop using the excuse that I am vaccinated to then do stupid things. Because that's not how it works. Yes, you're vaccinated. However, you can still catch and store corona. So please, stop. Yes. Stop saying when people ask you to wear your mask, oh, I'm vaccinated. Stop saying when people ask you to sanitize and distance, oh, I'm vaccinated. Yeah. That doesn't mean that person will not then get sick, or you can't get sick, or you can't just carry it. Okay, that's not what it means. Yeah. I feel like we need to make smarter decisions. Like I feel like we need to stop being ignorant and stop doing things that we know, like, you know, could really put us as a risk. Because
but hold on, Jade, because we have some people trying to get in on the line. Good morning, caller. You're live on LNT. Hold on. The phone line's been lighting up. Good morning, caller. You're live on LNT.
Good morning, folks.
Morning.
Yes. Let's start from the premise that nobody wants corona, whether they're vaccinated or not. Okay? So I don't think, like you guys seem to think, that people are careless with their lives and other people's lives. That has to be a particularly weird kind of person.
You don't think what?
That people,
have you been outside?
I have been outside.
Cannot
and
be.
Generally,
you don't think people are careless with other people's lives?
I see people adhering to the protocols. Okay? Yes, there may be some who don't. Remember, all it takes is one. I don't think that there's this huge number of people out there just carelessly walking around or going into places or intermingling. I mean, anytime.
But we're not talking about a huge number of people, just to clear that up. Like, I don't think we're suggesting that is the majority of people.
We're saying that there are people, not that the majority
I think it's easy to make statements like, well, the people not adhering to protocols, because it's a nebulous kind of thing.
But they're not.
People.
But people aren't.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Isn't this the reality? Is everybody adhering to the protocols?
No. I don't
so
think
then what did we not? So then
everybody would adhere to it.
But men even talking about that. My thing is, we see the cases going up and up and up and up and up and up.
Right. I was coming to that.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that rather than try to get at the root cause, because the root cause may not be that people, whether few or a lot, are not adhering to the protocols. It could be that the authorities are not doing the necessary analyses of the data. Hold on.
So here's my question. No, I have a question for. I have a question.
Go ahead, Kevon. Go ahead.
I have a question. Why does it always boil down to authorities that are not doing enough and not citizens doing what they should?
But hold on.
Is a larger entity responsible?
No, I think that both could be true though. I think that the government
can be true.
I think the government could be falling short. I think the government could be falling short, and at the same time,
which is right.
People are not doing what they're supposed to do. I don't think those things happen in isolation.
But for me, right, I don't understand. Like, why when we talk about the latter, everybody always comes up with, oh, but the government ain't doing it either. Yes, we acknowledge that. We always acknowledge that, but we have to also acknowledge that we as citizens need to do the same. We need to take some responsibility. We can't just keep saying, oh, the government.
I hear you. But what I'm saying is, after 17 months, we need to do some kind of analysis, and we need to second guess, and we need to critique so that we improve.
But we constantly, but the critique has been non-stop, hasn't it? Has the critique not been coming? Has the government not literally been responding on an almost daily basis to criticism?
But who's responding?
Has the government not been responding, right?
No, they have not.
So all the changes in protocols when the what you call it, when the chamber go out and make the recommendations, when all these groups, when the tourism minister speaking about it, the fact that his hands are tied by the task force and the health officials, when like all these conversations, when the people on the radio every day, including yourself, talking about the ways that the government could improve its response, and you're telling me that the government has not responded to any of this?
No, I'll give you a perfect example.
Because they do what you want them to do?
Let me give you a perfect example. The Chamber of Industry and Commerce president, I remember, on this very same station, saying that government should come up with a plan to deal with post-COVID recovery, etc. Has there been one? I don't think so.
But
up to last week or week before.
But you're making a statement like hold on. Nobody is saying that the government has done everything that has been suggested by everybody. But you're trying to tell me that the government has not responded to any of the criticism, none of the suggestions that has been made.
I haven't said that they haven't responded.
But that's the question I ask you. So I'm saying is there has been criticism.
You said no,
the criticism. You're saying we need to criticize. I'm making the point that criticism has been coming from the start of this thing. And so if you're making the suggestion that the government has not responded to any of the criticism, then that's one argument to make. You say you're not making that argument. So criticism is happening. The government has responded to some. Perhaps they have not responded to all. They haven't done everything. They haven't done everything they could have done. But I think that is the point that everybody can agree on that point. So sometimes you call in and you come with these points that is like almost like you're going against what we're saying. But I think a lot of times we'll be saying the same thing.
It's literally the same thing.
Like
what I'm saying is that for all we know, the reason why we have this upsurge in numbers, maybe because we're dealing with a particular virulent strain, a particularly transmissible strain, we don't know for sure. And the whole point of my intervention is that we are quick to blame the collective people because they are easy targets. The collective people can't answer to...
Hold on, let me finish.
The collective people cannot answer to the criticism, okay? Rather than try to get at the nitty-gritty of the matter, the real meat of the matter, in order to effect changes that will bring about an improvement. That's my point.
Yeah, but the reason why it's confusing to us when you make that point is because I could tell you personally, and even from a co-host stance, and even people who watch us on the show, that most times when we speak about the responses, things that need to happen, is at a policy level. It's not like we don't come in here daily and just cuss people and tell them why are you doing this, why are you doing this. I believe most of the discussion centers around what's happening in the news, what's happening with the government, the policies that's being enacted. So when you come and you make these statements like as if like we can't blame the collective, and we need to hold the politicians accountable. My question is, what end that we'll be doing?
Not all the time.
No, but of course not all the time, and of course not all the time. But I want to, I am putting forward that most of the time that's what we're discussing, and also I'm also putting forward that because we hold the government accountable, don't mean that we can't also speak about the things that we see in daily. When we come in here and we see people walking up and down with no mask, when we are locked down and we see people hanging out by bars, we should be able to come in here and talk about that. Just like when we come in here and talk about the fact that we don't have no electronic. They're giving us the vaccine papers and manila sheets. Now we see them coming out and giving us electronic thing. We talk about these things all the time. You come here and try and contend like as if we don't be talking about these things, and to be honest, it's confusing.
I never claim that. All I'm saying is that,
bro, we're listening to you.
Trying to just make blanket statements like people don't adhere to the protocol.
Okay, so you want to say some. You want us to put some. So what we should do is say some.
You don't just steady.
No, what I'm saying, you want to say. Let me deal with the first part. What you say. You want to say some people, not all people.
But we don't. That's what I'm saying. We don't even know that for a fact.
Bro, I see them, bro. Okay, you know what?
Okay.
Now you're just being ridiculous now. No, you're just being. I'm telling you straight up, you're being ridiculous, and I'm losing patience, to be totally honest. You can't come here and tell me that we don't know, bro. I see them myself. I come in here and I talk about what I see. You can tell me that I don't see people not adhering to the protocols?
Like, we literally see them.
So my question to you, Carla, is have you never seen someone walking around? So every person you see walking around is adhering to protocol.
Responsible for this surge. It's too much.
Bro, everybody has a part to play. Everybody's actions dictate.
Everybody knows that.
Yes, so what are you saying? We come here, we talk about the actions of the government. We also come here when we see things that don't line up with what we believe need to be happening. We talk about it too. So me don't understand what your point is. Like, I don't understand. You're trying to make it seem as though we're trying to put the bulk of the blame, and you're trying to make it seem as though we're trying to put the bulk of the blame on people that are out in the public. And it ain't about who deserves bulk of the blame. I don't know. But I know when I see something that shouldn't be happening, we just come and say, hey, but this shouldn't be happening. Oh, you know what, I don't agree with this. I ain't here making no analysis. If you believe the government need to make the analysis of whether it is their actions or who actions, fine. But when I come in here and talk, I just talking about what I see.
If you have a problem, what do you do to solve the problem? Don't you have to analyze the problem first of all?
Bro.
Oh my God.
Bro.
You have to do that.
Bro.
Azem.
Okay, so...
Azem. Let the caller finish so we can speak. Please just let the caller
I'll
finish.
let him finish so we can just move on. Let me just finish your point so we can move on. Let me do that.
Yes.
If you have a problem, you cannot solve the problem unless you analyze it and determine exactly what is the problem. Right?
Whose job it is to solve the problem?
If you make a blanket statement that people are not adhering to the protocols, yes, we know some people aren't, but that may not be the reason why we have the surge in numbers. And I explain what could possibly be a reason as well.
And we actually discussed those same exact variants you're talking about. As a matter of fact, we come in here when the numbers start to go up, and the first thing we say is bad Delta here. Yeah? So we putting it out there that perhaps a variant change is what's accounting for the spread. Right. There's been a change in protocol. We talk about that. Now you want to come and focus on one thing to try and undermine what we're saying, and to be truthful, I don't even understand why. Why? I don't even understand why. If you you should stop listening to the show.
Thank you, caller. Thank you, caller, for your input. We have to move on because we've been here for too long. Thank you. Listen, I don't know. I don't understand. Why people willfully try to... I mean, I understand certain people have agendas and, all these things. Okay, that's fine.
Remember this the same call who yesterday said everything political, eh? He said that was his words yesterday. And the truth is, I'll be totally honest about it. And yesterday, when he's speaking, I was just there having thoughts of work out. No man, just let him talk, let him finish, and then we can move on.
No, what I've noticed is that I think the caller just likes to oppose arguments just for argument's sake, but I think at some point it becomes a little bit too much because these shows are live stream, which means we can go back and record it and play it. We asked the question if the government has not adjusted to any of the criticism it received. He said blatantly and with a loud volume, no. Then a few sentences later, he said that I never said that. And it's just like, okay, so then, how do we engage in a conversation where you jump in on different sides of the fence every 2 seconds? And I don't think that's a conversation. That's just like you. I don't think that's a conversation.
No, but the thing that saddens
you're not
me,
here to converse.
But this thing that saddens me about this,
that's why I don't engage, because I don't think that is a person I can have a conversation with about things, because things change too much.
But I don't think. The saddest thing for me does be half the time we literally agreeing. We agreeing, That's the thing that be bothering me. We agreeing, all of us saying the same thing. All of us saying the same thing.
I guess.
So it just be like,
it's just like you want to agree in different ways.
You know what the issue is? We didn't say some. Anyway.
By ask that,
and we need to take a break because things are getting heated on show.
No, things are heated. We're getting heated.
I'm kidding.
Oh.
I'm kidding.
But
But yeah, we need to take a break because boy.
Bye. I keep trying to tell people, right? Let me inform people here, right?
No,
watch. No, you don't know what I'm gonna say. Perhaps you do.
I bet.
But watch. First thing, me no journalist.
Neither am I. Oh, Kevon.
Right? I am not. I come in here and I just talk because somebody said to give me a mic.
Same.
Somebody said to give me a mic.
Same.
I don't tell you half the time we come in here, we all drunk and high. So
whoa.
Bro.
Oh,
Yeah,
tea.
what? Show
My cup.
tea. That they look like Prosecco.
Tea. It's too brown to be
One
Prosecco.
of us on the show. One of us on the show named Prosecco Papi, and the other one named Smoke Dog, and the other one of us named Beldovito. So I let you
have a point. But no. You have a point, but no.
I have a point, but no. Okay, I got you. What of
you have a point, but no. As if no. Anyway, my whole thing is we come in here, and when we see things that aren't going the way they should, or we think they could be done better, we criticize it. We talk about it, and we don't care what entity that is. I made it abundantly clear when I arrived in the country like a month or so ago. I made it abundantly clear that the entrance process was complete garbage. I had a lovely time filling out that form, but after that form, it was the worst experience I've ever had in my life. And I made that abundantly clear. I criticized the Ministry of Health for the process.
Yeah.
I
criticized the entire thing. We all talked about it. So to come on and say we don't criticize these people, that's not true. We always do. But the thing is, we also criticize.
But I told you that the majority of the time,
including the people. And the thing is too. But the caller to also say that the people don't see people not adhering to the protocol. So you want to tell me since the beginning of the pandemic you've never seen somebody outside without a mask? You've never seen somebody with a mask under their nose. You've never seen somebody who refused to sanitize. My whole thing is all you have to do is go outside.
That's why I asked him in the first instance, have you been outside? Because you're telling us that you don't see people doing these things.
And I think my thing is too. What that shows to me is that we all have different ideas of what protocols are. Because is mask wearing a protocol? Because that could be something the caller doesn't factor as a protocol.
What I really want to know is how you all feel about foreign trade in Iraq.
What? Break.
What I want to know is how you all feel about the price of rice in China.
Break. Listen to me.
But yes, Jade, we will take a very short break and we will come back to more Island Tea. On WINNmedia, SKN, we are come back.
Yes.
Supermarket shoppers understand that convenience matters. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Ample parking and the widest variety matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Clean, spacious aisles and the highest level of customer service all matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, price matters most. We've renewed our commitment to guarantee the lowest prices in the Federation. Why? Because we understand that in this tough economic environment, price matters most. Shop smart. Shop Value Mart, where price matters most. Farms Estate Nevis and Wellington Road, St. Kitts.
Price matters most.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Azem featuring Jade, Gwenisha Johnson, and it's time to talk to our friends from the cable. Welcome and good morning.
Good morning. This is the voice of Mark Etienne, and I'm joined
by Brian. Good morning to our viewers and our listeners.
Morning.
Hi, morning. That sounds like Jade.
Yes.
Everybody knows Jade's voice.
My voice. What is?
Everybody knows Jade's voice.
Everybody know Jade voice. I'm glad you said it. I'm glad you said it.
I don't like it.
That's fine, Jade.
Yes, the ever popular. Can't hide.
Don't say that.
Yeah, but guys, I know there's some exciting things coming up for the cable that you guys are gonna enlighten us about. So what's happening? Let us know.
We're getting right into it then. So lovely. Good morning to all listening and watching. Of course, we're happy to be here with you. Thanks to WINNFM for having us this morning. Yes, folks, we are talking about the cable CPL promotion. Yes, we got big things.
But everybody here is just perked. Everybody ready now.
That sounds good. So let me start it off right off the bat, letting the good folks know that the cable is giving away. Drum roll.
I'm hoping Azem have something that he can just play when you say this.
When I said this, right? I hope so.
I mean, I think because we're gonna be hitting you like so fast that
you got to, just line it up, just boom, 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 boom.
You gotta have something.
I think I like that version better, you know. When you do it yourself.
So here we go. The cable is giving away $10,000 worth of tickets to its customers.
CPL tickets.
Yes.
That is.
So what? Wait, say that again.
Come on, let's do this. Let's do this over.
Yeah, let me try to say it in a different language. Maybe the French wasn't good, so I'll try
we
English this time.
Right,
yeah.
and we are not here to bring, the Queen's English. Yeah, because we know this is sports time. So we come with a racket.
Yeah, we're dropping it
back.
back.
So we're going to turn it up, basically.
Yes.
So what Mark is basically saying is that the cable is giving away $10,000 worth of CPL tickets.
Well,
and
what you saying?
Wow.
Hey, Azem, what a face.
I'm a bit shocked.
A bit?
Yes.
Yeah, it's for real, folks. It's for real. Our corporate customers, our residential customers who visit us in the store, if you do your business online, everyone, all and sundry, we say. Everyone can get a chance to win tickets for the games. Now here, yes. Wow, indeed, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
So how exactly do I go? Because make about this. How do I get tickets? That's what I want to know.
Well, that is, Mark, we're going to have Mark run through it now, basically as to how persons how our customers can be eligible to receive a ticket
for the games, yes.
I just say no, stop streaming, so when me hear.
That's a good one.
But tell us, Mark.
So 3 ways, and that is through sign up, pay up, and buy up. And we're gonna explain each of these so that folks can know exactly what they can do to get a chance to win CPL tickets. Now sign up.